We are back from our 7-day cruise hiatus, and we're welcomed home with triple-digit desert heat. So we decided to take a quick trip into the mountains to camp in cooler air and grill up some delicious food. This big netting right here is specifically for cars. That looks like a baby roach, actually.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. We are in the mountains tonight, doing a quick little overnighter out in Mount Charleston, back from vacation, so we are relaxed, rejuvenated, ready to get out and travel some more and make some videos for you guys. So, this is probably the first time I've ever been to McWilliams, and it is absolutely packed out here. It's been pretty crazy. I saw zero campsites available. Luckily, we found a first come first serve site with reservations pretty much like right in the smack middle of it. So we had to read our little signs here to verify, and McWilliams has a little bit of Wi-Fi by their pay booth, so you can actually look it up, and that's how we found that this site had availability. And the only reason why we knew is because there's no one staying between the night of the 12th, so we were able to sneak in for the night, which is fine because we're only here for the night, and as long as we're out by noon, it'll be fine. The heat is here, guys. It is triple digits out back in Vegas, so it is hot. So we really wanted to get out, get amongst the trees, and just kind of hang out and have a, relaxing little campsite, or have a little nice relaxing camp out for the evening. We came out right after work, so luckily we were able to find this spot, but man, this campground is absolutely packed. I'm very, very surprised. Usually you can find at least 1 or 2 spots, on a Thursday night, but tonight, I think the word is out. Everyone knows to come here far and wide from from Vegas. Even online, I couldn't find anything to reserve, on recreation.gov to reserve anything, so yeah. But anyway, this is our site though. We're at Site 67, which is actually quite nice because we have no neighbors in the back. We got no one next to us. We got one neighbor over here, but that otherwise is it. We got fire pit, table, a little grill area, some shade, some trees, and a little tent pad over here that we can set up a tent if we wanted to. We ended up throwing our bedding out here just to make sure that no one tries to grab our spot as we went and paid, because the pay booth from this area is actually quite far. This is the first time we're actually camping in the Eureka Loop. Usually I'm either in the first loop entering into the campground or inside of Dolomite, I believe, which is the outer loop next to it. But this is the first time I've actually camped on this side of the campground. And if you guys didn't know, this campground is gigantic. There's, I think, 90-something spots or something like that, so there is a lot. The other reason why I knew it was first come, first serve is down by the booth. I was able to look the spot up on the for 67 and see that it is first come, first serve, and then there are reservations afterwards. So that's another way that you can verify and check that the spot is available, other than, reading the dates. So as you're looking around here, though, even though there are placards on the sites with the last name of the person who's reserving the site and the date in which they're here, just make sure that the night that you are planning on sleeping here, that night isn't covered by those dates that are already on the site. So just FYI, let's go ahead and get camp all set up. Feels so good up here. So if you guys saw our Sedona trip, you'll know that we completely ruined our rug. We were using it as kind of like just like a little step from the truck because it was absolutely muddy when we got stuck out there. So we ended up buying a brand new camp rug. It just came in, so I wanted to unbox it for you guys and show you guys what it's about. But this one's nice because it has like a little bag, which is pretty cool. The other one did not come with a bag. We actually got it from, I think, Walmart or something for like 35 bucks. This one was about 29, I believe, on Amazon. I do like how it has like a little zip up bag here. And it is gray and black, so it shouldn't get too dirty. The other one that we had was black and white, and the white on there got so dirty for a camp rug. Oh my gosh. Right when we take this out, the wind is like coming up. This one's just a little bit bigger. It's about 6 by 9. The other one was like, I think 5 by 8. So not as big. All right, we may not use this. I just wanted to open it.
Oh no! Right on the ball.
Nasty. We're putting this rug away because we just don't need it right now. But overall, pretty cool. Rio just pooped on her ball, so we were in shock and grossed out. But yeah, all right. So I just folded this up. Pretty cool though. Nice and compact and really easy to fold. I really like that it came with a bag though, so that's nice. It also came with some little stakes here, so not bad at all. Should be a nice little camp rug. We had our other rug for literally like 2+ years, so sad to see it go after our Sedona debacle, but it's all good. Pretty cool though. Much easier to pack because the other rug kind of went on top of everything, so let's get everything else unpacked out here. All right, let's switch this out of bunk mode. What, does she not like her ball anymore because she pooped on it? Oh. Here, Rio, here's your chair. Rio. Come on, Rio.
Blends into the background. Rio.
What are you doing, Rio? So as you guys know, we've been cruising for the last, I want to say, week. We've been gone for about 9 days in total. Travel days to and from. We were cruising on Royal Caribbean, Wonder of the Seas, which is their 3rd largest boat in the fleet, which was really awesome. It's also a newer boat too, so everything was really nice. The entertainment was top notch, food was really good. It was overall a really great time. We had stops in Mexico and Honduras, and then we had 1 day at Royal Caribbean's private island, which was really fun. Which is essentially like their private island's like a really big water park type of thing, you know. Good recharge, you know, and got some fun in the sun. We did some horseback riding in Honduras, did some ATV riding. We did some snorkeling at the second largest barrier reef in the world, which was awesome and a lot of fun. So highly recommended. If you guys have never cruised before, this was our second time, and the 7-day cruise was, I think, the perfect amount of time. The first cruise we'd ever done was about a 4-day cruise, but I feel like that wasn't long enough, you know, in terms of hanging out on the boat and the stops and just kind of enjoying yourself. You're kind of like go, go, go. But 7 days, we would definitely do that again. It's cool because you get a little taste of every single stop versus like logistically if you were trying to schedule that all yourself. You don't spend a lot of time there, and that's kind of like the only drawback, is that you don't really get to immerse yourself. But overall, just a really cool, you know, concept for traveling. So before our Arizona trip, I ended up making some custom like bug netting around the cab. That way we can like leave the doors open, but not have any bugs come in here. So we actually didn't end up using that on our Arizona trip. So I figured while we're here, I don't have the bug net tent. I want to keep this open to kind of air it out for us before we go to bed. So let's go and set these up and see how they work. All right, so here's one side. And here's the other side. And then for the main door, let's see if I remember how to put this back on. Looks like it's working. All right, well, there you go. Definitely not perfect, but it'll keep, I think, a majority of the bugs out. And I believe you can still close it if I remember correctly. I honestly can't remember if I'm putting this on right, but it closes. What I ended up doing was adding some Velcro at the top here, at the top of the panel, and then used a little bit of magnet strip down here. And what this is, this material, what it is one of those door bug net things. I just cut it in half and then used the existing adhesive that it already had on there. Half of the door panel is equal to the size of this panel here. And you can still close these sides as well, which is nice. But at least we can keep the doors open and not have to worry about any bugs. So not bad at all. Yeah, I made these specifically for Arizona, but we never ended up using them. I think this one, most likely, I'll probably end up taking it down before we go to bed, but hey, at least we got a bug net on here now. I kind of messed up on this side and cut it too short, so I had to sew a section of the bug net back on. So yeah, that's the bug net. Pretty basic, you know, cheap design. I think I probably paid, you know, 30, 40 bucks for the bug nets for the door. And then this one is actually specifically, this big netting right here is specifically for cars. So if you have like an SUV, you can actually drape this over onto your, you know, like if you have a swing out in the back of your SUV, you can drape it around and then make a bug net around the back hatch of your SUV. Get the grill going here. A couple of you guys have been asking about how I keep the Scotty clean. Number one, I always wipe it down after each use with like a paper towel just to kind of help keep the grease down. With a grill like this, because it does pack flat, it's just inevitable that you're gonna get grease everywhere. And I also try and run it through the dishwasher at least every 3 to 5 uses. And I always wear gloves. All right, there you go. So it really doesn't take a lot of time to set it up. Having gloves though, and you know, wiping it down after every use definitely helps with the grease buildup though, for sure. Oh, and I am so excited, guys. We are going to be making banh mi sandwiches, chicken banh mi sandwiches. And I got the I got the chicken all marinating earlier, so that is going to be super good. I'm really excited. I'm following another recipe for banh mi's. I know I've made banh mi's in the past, but this is gonna be a little bit different. Made my own pickled radish and carrots. We're also gonna be doing, you know, obviously cilantro, some jalapenos, but this time we're gonna do chicken. So, and the chicken, made my own marinade for it, so it should be really, really good. All right, guys, it is drink o'clock right now. Brought the collapsible cooler just because it's a, you know, quick overnight trip, so we didn't need much. I did bring Starlink out here because there is 0 signal out in McWilliams, in case you were wondering. You do get a little bit of signal in the area where you end up paying, because you can look up some of the spots to see if they've been reserved, and you know, you can reserve some of the spots online. But first come, first serve, you have to pay with cash. Oh, and this particular site was $25 for the night. Shout out to Danielle and her wife, the Live to Camp crew. She ended up giving me this during our group trip, but I have not been able to try this out yet. So we're gonna be trying this out tonight. It's a little dark because I'm hiding in the shade behind the truck. Another pro of this camper is it creates its own shade. This is from Kansas City, Missouri, Boulevard Brewing Co. This is their Bourbon Barrel Quad. So this is a barrel-aged ale, and it's about 12.5% and 26 IBUs, which is crazy. Usually whenever the alcohol percentage on a beer is really high, your IBUs are also pretty high as well. Usually you'll see IBUs in the realm of like, you know, 40 plus, especially if you're looking at like IPAs, which usually have the higher alcohol percentage. So for 26 IBUs, this is more like I want to say like a lighter beer probably. Or maybe a lager, but 26 isn't bad at all. Cheers, guys. Ooh, you can definitely taste the bourbon from the barrel that this was sitting in, but very smooth overall. Not a really hard kick or anything. Definitely smooth. I like it. Really good. Shout out to the Live to Camp crew. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about like group trips here in the future. I'm hoping maybe to get something going in the summer, but summertime is just really tough, guys. It's like, you know, there's always a lot of stuff going on. We got our Alaska trip coming up. We do have Big Bear on the docket, and we also have a trip to San Diego coming up. So trying to plan out a group trip with everyone is a little bit tough. If you aren't already, follow me on Instagram, because that's where I will be posting any group trip information first on there. And usually it will be first come, first serve, and we're going to probably limit the amount of people just to, you know, so it doesn't get too crazy. And I like having it in a more of a smaller setting. That way, you know, you can kind of hang out a little bit easier versus just like a big old party. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. If we do end up doing something, it'll probably be Williams, Arizona, or around like Dixie National Forest, because there are some pretty big areas where we can camp with larger groups out there. So, and if you're looking for places to camp in the summertime, definitely check those spots out, because you know they're about 3 hours away from town, but well worth it. It's good. It's definitely like barrel aged. All right, guys, we are going to walk around the campground a little bit before the sun goes down, just to get this dog a little bit more tired, and then we're gonna go make dinner. In case you guys didn't know, there's actually a lot of stuff to do on this mountain, especially if you go to like Lee Canyon, the ski resort where you come up to here. Over at the ski resort, you can actually mountain bike, you can hike out of there, you can take the tram and go, just for the views up there. And there's also a bar, and they do live music in the summertime. So that's actually on our list to do this summer, is go check that out. There's a lot to do on here, especially if you want to escape the heat. This is the perfect place to do so. Comment down below if you guys would want to meet up at like Music on the Mountain. That'd be actually really cool since it's a pretty big event. So to meet up out there. So comment down below if you guys would be interested in that. Music on the Mountain. Let me know.
Is this a forget-me-not?
Up. Good girl, good girl.
What are you smelling? What are you smelling? It's not good.
All right, guys, we are back from walking the doggo around, admiring the sunset. So before it gets too dark, we're gonna start getting dinner ready. Take this out so it's not in the car, not in the heat. Orange down. Carly's doing the fire. I'm getting the food prepped. Got the grill going already. I'm actually using our green propane tanks for this. I'm using an adapter that I have off of the Tembo Toscado. Actually, I'm gonna turn that off right now because we gotta let this chicken get to room temperature. So for our banh mi, here are our ingredients. So like I mentioned, I pickled my own carrots and radish. These are supposed to be daikons, but I ended up using like this purple radish or purple turnip or something as an alternative, but got those marinating. Got our chicken marinating as well. And I pre-cut all of our vegetables for the banh mi. That way, just to kind of make it a little bit easier for us. We got some cilantro, we got some red onions, some cucumbers, limes, and some jalapenos. And then on the sandwich itself, we're gonna do some sriracha and mayo. I also brought some hoisin. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use that, but I also have something else for the sandwich as well. But we're gonna get this to room temperature. And at the grocery store, I ended up finding some little like baguette rolls. These aren't the sub rolls though. These are called white bolillo rolls. Bolillo, I guess white ball rolls. I don't know, but these look like perfect for the banh mi. I got this over at Vaughn's at the fresh bread area. But we're gonna toast these on the grill after we get done with the meat. And then our last ingredient is actually this Maggi seasoning. So this is what we're going to use along with mayo on the actual sandwich itself before we load it up with all of our meats and herbs here. How cute. Very nice. No, you got it. We're going to spray this off. I did warm this up a little bit first, but we're going to spray it down with some oil. And now we're going to, I think the chicken's probably, I'm going to give this about like 15 minutes though, before we start grilling. Yeah, put it down, and then put your axe down on it. Use it like a hammer. Okay. There we go. And then after that, you can just, yep, there you go. You just will need one good one first. See that?
The fire, babe.
Yeah, good job, babe. Fire looks great.
When I tried to start a fire in Alaska.
It's just so wet there. All right, guys, let's get this chicken on here. Oh, well, that was not as That was lackluster. So we'll probably cook these like about 4 minutes on each side. And I did get the Scotty cap put together, so we can give it some cover here. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, this is smelling so good. It's fine. 4 minutes on each side. This is pretty much done here. Finishing up, and then we'll let them rest. There's our timer. Oh yeah. Thanks, baby. We do have foil. It's in the big tote. All right, guys. So what I ended up putting in the marinade was some ketchup, soy sauce, 5-spice Chinese seasoning, sesame oil, some garlic, minced. That's fine.
Sorry.
It's all good. And a couple other things in there. Honestly cannot remember right now. Oh, honey, a little bit of sugar, and some hoisin sauce. So if this turns out really good, guys, I'll leave a link to the recipe down below. But she also has a YouTube video that I ended up following. So her name's like Andrea something. But we're gonna get the rest of this chicken grilled up. Oh yeah.
Like a bed bug. No, it's a little roach. It's a baby roach.
Okay, cool. Carly was acting like she just found a tick.
I saw a tick last time we were up
A
here.
tick? Are there ticks in Nevada, y'all?
In the mountains.
In the mountains, are there ticks out here, guys?
Yeah, you could comment down below.
Comment down below. We need to know. We do give Rio frontline though, so just in case.
I
But
did give her that chew that covers heartworms, fleas, and ticks.
oh, very nice. So Rio's covered.
Well, I'm gonna clean down.
So we need to reapply.
I think this is a baby roach.
All right, let's see.
Let's go to-
That looks like a baby roach, actually. Carly thought this was a tick. It looks like, yeah, it looks like a baby roach. Oh my gosh, guys, this is looking so good. Look at the char on this from the Scotty grill, guys. Look at this char. So good. All right, we're gonna let this rest and we're gonna cut it up and get our sandwiches going. Let's get these buns toasty. What I just saw on the interwebs was you just throw these on as is, and then you cut them open. So you don't actually open them and then toast them. I know. We'll see what happens.
The outside's crunchy.
Exactly. Just the outside crunchy and that's it. Hey Siri, 1 minute. Got these toasted on the Scotty. We're just gonna let them chill for a moment. The Dr. Seuss tree. Alright guys, so this recipe told me just to toast the outside, so we're just gonna open these up, let them cool a little bit before we throw some mayo and sriracha in there. So these Bolillo breads just came from the bakery at Vaughn's, so nothing special. But what I am gonna do though is take a little bit of the bread filling out though. That way there's more room for our sandwich filling, and then we're gonna let this cool before I put mayo on there, because we don't want a soggy sandwich, you know.
I want a soggy sandwich.
You would want a soggy sandwich. And this is such a good idea to kind of, you just want like the crunchiness of the bread. I'm gonna try the inside just to see what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a very plain bread. So we are going to assemble our Sammy. So first thing we're gonna do is gonna throw down some Kewpie mayo. Spread it all over both buns. Throw down some sriracha.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. I should have known better. A little bit of sriracha. And then the recipe told me to use this Maggi seasoning, which I guess this is like what banh mi sandwiches, like the essence of what banh mi sandwiches taste like. So she told me to Jackson Pollock it, so I'm just gonna
Sparingly.
I'll sparingly on yours. All right, and then get some of this radish stuff that I made, and we're gonna drain some, so we don't want any of the pickled turnips and carrots. I'm putting it on a paper. I'm putting it on a paper towel so we can drain it out, so it's not so soggy on our Sammy. Pat them down a little bit, you know. We'll let those dry off. So I'm gonna throw some onions on mine, which is not normally a thing on banh mi's, but I like some fresh cut onions on a sandwich, so I'm just gonna throw some on here. Babe, I'm gonna make mine and I'm gonna have you try it, and then you can tell me what to tweak. And then I'm going to layer the cucumbers after the onions. So pre-slice some cucumbers in here. Like that. Throw some meat on here. Cut against the grain on this meat, but we're gonna cut it into chunks here. Let's try some meat by itself. Oh, that char, so good. All right, we're gonna throw our meat on here. Make sure everything is spread out evenly like a proper sandwich. And now we're going to add in a couple jalapenos here, just like one along the sandwich. And then we're going to throw some of the pickled carrots and turnips. Throw that on top. And then we're going to top it off with some cilantro here. And let's cut this thing in half so we can see what it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. This looks so good. All right, take the first bite here. A little taste test. Oh. Maybe a little bit more meat. So, just add a little bit there. Here, babe, try this. That's pretty good. The marinade on that meat is super good. Wow. Guys, that Scotty grill gave it such a good char. Holy crap. I feel like it's missing something, like maybe a little hoisin, maybe? I don't know.
Too much of that flavor enhancer.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
I do have some limes too. Kind of like squeeze it on there a little bit.
Yeah, that might be good.
Throw a little bit of lime on here, guys. Hopefully not in my mouth or my eyeball. Maybe a little bit more of that. Maybe a little bit more onion. I'm trying to like gauge like how to make yours, so.
Maybe a little bit more sauce.
More sauce?
Mayo.
Mayo? Okay. Oh yeah, with the lime on there. Super good. Oh yeah. Didn't stand a chance. This was so good, guys. I will leave a link to the recipe down below, but man, the marinade on the meat, all the fresh veggies, you just can never go wrong with a banh mi sandwich. Night night. I know. This was not facing. Good morning, everyone. Super quiet night last night. Like 0 wind. It was glorious. Perfect temperatures. Not too cold. Not too hot. We got a little hot this morning, which forced us out of the tent really quick, but overall, it's just great up here. For those wondering, McWilliams is the highest elevation campground on this mountain. I looked at the maps, and this campground is actually 8,500 feet in elevation versus Fletcher View, which is only 75. And then the others, I'll have to look at Hilltop Campground, but I think it might also be around 8,000, I think. I'll have to double check that, but temps up here are amazing. This place is just such a great area to escape the heat. Shout out to everyone I met on my trip over at Fletcher View, aka Cow Canyon Campground. I'm gonna have to come back, so thank you to everyone who commented and said that that was the wrong campground. The video is still labeled as Fletcher View, but I will be back to the real Fletcher View Campground and check it out for you guys. The area that I ended up at was Cow Canyon Campground, and all of those spots are first come, first serve. You're not able to reserve anything online. So we'll definitely be back. So thank you to everyone who let me know. And also shout out to all you guys who saw me at that campground last time and said hello. It's always great meeting you guys. So, cheers. Oh, yeah. This is great. Just love being amongst the trees and listening to all the birds. So we're currently sitting in the tent pad area, and if we had a tent, we would be perfectly shaded. But alas, the truck is literally being highlighted by the sun right now. So we were rudely awakened to some heat. So we got out of the tent really quick. We're just hanging out in the shade over here. But this is a really nice campsite. So this is site 67. There's no one near us. We have one neighbor, but it's this site is like pretty private, and we're not in a loop or anything, so there's not a lot of neighbors around us. Because if you go up the loop a little bit over here, you're like surrounded by a lot of people, and that's like kind of how it is at the beginning of the campground itself. It's like a loop, and so everyone is kind of surrounded by people. But over here it's really nice, and then we got the bathrooms right across the street. The bathrooms over here have been surprisingly really clean, so that's a plus. I think because there's just less traffic in this area, so the bathrooms have stayed very clean and stocked. So, spot 67, I'd come back. The flock is grazing out to pasture. There's actually a lot of stuff going on the mountain. There's music on the mountain. There's actually Bike Fest this weekend that's going on over at Lee Canyon. You can froth, and you can do yoga on Sundays. And then they got a couple other events going on, like Music Fest, where they have live music going on, and you can just bring your own chair, your own blanket, and hang out in the shade, or hang out in the higher elevation to get out of the heat. So lots of stuff going on out here, and there's obviously a lot of hiking and stuff to get out, but man, the weather up here is just perfect. So we're definitely going to do one of those festivals sometime, so stay tuned. Want some more coffee, babe? Alright guys, well, we're going to start getting packed up and ready to go. Those banh mi's last night were awesome. Those turned out super good. I will leave a link to the recipe down below, but man, like the marinated chicken, like over a grill, you get like those like crispy bits from the grill, like barbecuing the chicken, and everything was just so fresh. I need to work on toasting my bun a little bit more. I know how banh mi's are supposed to be pretty like crunchy on the outside, but man, they were ripping our mouths. But so we'll probably try and toast them a little bit different, maybe toast the inside versus the outside a little bit more. That way you still get the crunch, but you don't get the destruction of your mouth. But overall, really good. That's like such a good like summertime sandwich, just because it's so fresh. This was definitely 10 times better than the first banh mi that I made a couple years ago on a video. I think I was in Boulder Beach or something like that, where we skewered the pork. I definitely like the chicken more though, for sure. It was just like so juicy because I thinly sliced the pork last time I was using it. Having the chicken thighs and then like slicing those thighs was just, it like kept the meat moist, and just, it was just so good. So highly recommend. We're gonna start getting cleaned up, packed up, and ready to roll, guys. Just a quick little overnighter. This site, I would definitely be back to this campsite. Lots of trees, and I just love how secluded it is and private. So really enjoy this area. Really surprised at how many people are out here on a Thursday night. So just FYI, it's a hot commodity out here. But luckily we found a spot, so that's cool. We'll be venturing out of farther outside of Las Vegas to escape the heat, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.